Now let's see how we can build an agent within the OpenAI platform. We're going to go to Create, then we're going to copy in our system prompt, which we have from our GitHub file. So we'll copy that, paste it in, and just to show you what some of these rules look like, we're going to ask the agent to collect all the field values we care about when merging, like person source, person status, and lead score. We're going to determine the winning field values during the merge. So created at the oldest lead wins, lead source and lead source detail. We want to pick the value in this priority order. So if one lead has paid search and the other lead has trade show, we're always going to choose paid search above trade show. And we're also going to take the person source detail field to match the value that we choose for lead source. And then for lead status, this is the order we're going to choose. So customer will always win over prospect. Lead score, we're going to choose the highest value, and we're going to ignore any null values. Unsubscribed equals true, always wins, because we don't want to be emailing people who have unsubscribed from us. Then we're going to choose the winning lead ID. We're going to print out a pre-merge summary of all the values both of our leads have for these fields. Then we're going to print out the winning field values. We're going to complete the merge. Then we're going to update the winning lead with all the winning field values. And then we're going to print a post-merge summary. So these are the instructions that our agent is going to be following. And the next thing we need to do is just set up our MCP server. So we're going to copy our URL from Replit. And then we're going to call this Marketo MCP. And we're going to choose custom headers here. And then we're going to put in the values from this file. So we can see we've already put in our Replit URL. Then we need to specify these headers. The Munchkin ID, we all know how to get that. We can just take this straight from the URL. And then the client secret and client ID we get from here. And remember that these are very important. You should never share them online publicly or expose them in a video like I'm doing now. I will delete these credentials after this video has been recorded. So we put in our client ID and our client secret. We go connect. Now we can see all the actions that our agent will have access to through the Marketo MCP. We can set the approval to be always require approval for the tool calls, never require approval, or configured on a tool specific basis. So for things like retrieving information, we can set these to never because the agent will never do anything destructive here. It's only retrieving information. But for actions like this one, where we're deleting leads or creating records, we should leave these as always, so the agent asks us for permission first. And if we want our agent not to have access to a certain tool call, we can always deselect the tool call here. For the purposes of this demo, I'm going to set approval to be always, and then I'm going to save this. Then we leave all the other settings as is. Get our duplicate email address from Marketo, paste this in. Our agent then sees which tools it has access to. And now it's asking us for permission to get all the field values we care about when merging for our duplicate leads. Now it's giving us a pre-merge summary where it's comparing the values we have for both leads. And we can see that according to our logic from our instructions, we want paid search to win over direct. So paid search should win over direct. And we should take the lead source value that corresponds to the winning lead source value. So we're going to take both of these. Then for lead status, we're going to choose SQL above MQL. So we're going to choose SQL above MQL. So we can see that here. This is going to be the winning value. And then finally for lead score, we want to choose the highest score. So we can see that 50 has been chosen above 10. And in our table down here, it tells us who the winning lead ID is. And it picks the winning lead ID based on the person who is furthest in the sales funnel, which is this lead, 81837. And then it gives us our summary. So it lets us know these are the winning values and which lead it's taking those winning values from. So we can see we're taking these values from the losing lead, we're taking SQL from the winning lead, and then we're taking the lead score of 50 from the losing lead as well. And then they're both unsubscribed, so it doesn't matter which value we choose here because both values are false. And now it's asking us, do we want to merge the leads? We can hit approve. Okay, so the leads have been merged successfully, and now it's asking us if we can update the winning lead with the winning field values. So if we look at the lead currently in Marketo and we refresh this, we can see that the two leads have been merged. However, we see that the winning lead needs to have its field values updated so that we pull in all these winning field values. So we can see person source is still direct, it's still website footer link, and the score is still 10. So we need to update that to these values, and that's what this request is doing. So we're going to hit approve. And now it's printing out a merge summary for us. It completed the merge, it let us know who was the winner and who was the loser, and it let us know that we updated the winning lead with these values. So if we go and we check Marketo now and we hit refresh, we can see our person had their person score, person source, and person source detail updated successfully.